from the use case point of view. And he kind of stared at me and went on with it for another 15 minutes. When he finished, I said, please, I beg for your politeness here, but can you explain to me where concurrency is? He kind of scratched his head, how do I explain this? And then he thought for a minute and he looked at me and said, damn, are you telling me we don't need concurrency? And I said, can you help me see otherwise? And he kind of laughed for a minute and said, you just got rid of 60% of the code from our application. And he looked at me and said, thanks for coming. We don't need you to be here. We know how to remove the code now. And I kind of left a little heartbroken because I didn't have a solution that I can propose to them. I just removed the problem from their hands. And I see this quite often. This is just one example of what I saw. But we are eager, and we create architecture. And what do we do in the architecture? You got to solve concurrency problem, and the architecture involves a solution to a problem that may not even exist. So I've been working with companies for the past several years, and if you ask me what I've been doing actively for the past 5 years, I go to companies, and when I leave, their code has a weight loss in place. So they tend to remove code because I fear complexity. I ask them questions, why do you do this? Why do you do this? Why do you need this? And we end up finding we actually don't need a lot of stuff. And so the program becomes a lot simpler because we're not doing stuff we don't need to do. So one way to make things simple is to recognize what are we really solving. This brings back another experience in my mind. I was working on a project, and one of these guys had written a piece of code, and literally, this is what I saw. There was 200 lines of code to take a data from the database and XML being created.